Hi students, I welcome you all to e-learning. In today's class, we are going to see the new topic inverse trigonometric functions, which is the fourth chapter. Okay, we already studied about the trigonometric ratios like sin theta, cos theta, tan theta. What are three more? Cosecant theta, secant theta and tan theta. So these are the 6 trigonometric ratios. Okay, how will you write this in this inverse trigonometric ratios? So the sin theta can be written as sin inverse of theta or sin inverse of x. So sin inverse of theta is called the inverse trigonometric function. Like that, cos can be written as cos inverse of x. Like that, tan theta can be written as tan inverse of x. So this is called the inverse trigonometric functions. Here cosecant as cosecant inverse of x, secant inverse of x and tan inverse of x. You think in the lower classes you studied that A inverse. How will you read this as A inverse? How will you write this A inverse? As 1 by A. Like this. Don't write this as 1 by sin x. So sin inverse of x is not equal to 1 by sin x. So to clear this concept, I am telling this. So A inverse can be written as 1 by A. Like that, we no need to write this sin inverse of x as 1 by sin x. So like that, cos inverse of x is not equal to 1 by cos x. So this is a different function from this. Sin theta is equal to x. If sin theta is equal to x, you can take this sin to this right side and you can write this as theta is equal to sin inverse of x. So this is the way of getting the sin inverse of theta. Okay, we will go for the one example. Sin theta is equal to 1 by 2. You know the value of sin theta is equal to 1 by 2. For which degree? Sin 30. Sin 30 is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, if sin theta is equal to 1 by 2, how will you get the theta? So, if you take this sin to the right side, you will get sin inverse of 1 by 2. So, now the theta gives 30 degree or pi by 6. So this is the way of finding the sin inverse function. Before getting into this exercise, we will have to know some concepts related to this trigonometric functions. So the first concept is period. A real valued function f is periodic if there exists a number p greater than 0 such that for all x in the domain of f, x plus p is in the domain of f and f of x plus p is equal to f of x. So I will give this in example. If you take a clock, it shows 12, 3, 6, 9. So for one rotation it gives 1 to 12. For another rotation it gives 1 to 12. Like that, for one day it gives from 1 and goes to up to 24 hours. Here we have 12 hours. So for one day we have 24 hours. For the again second day we have to start from 1 to 24 hours. So this is called one period. So 1 to 24 is called one period. Then again we start from 1, again it moves like this. So this is called the periodic. So this is called the periodic function. So like that, in sine, cos, in trigonometric we have sine graph. What is the graph of the sine? So this is the graph of the sine. Sine 0 is 0, sine 90 is 1, sine 180 is minus 1. So we have to start like this. And the graph goes like this. So for 0, 90, 180, 270, that is 3 pi by 2 and then 2 pi. So if you start this from 0, and goes up to 2 pi. So this is called one period for sine function. For sine function, so this is called one period. For example, sin x, cos x, cosecant x, secant x and e power ix are the period of 2 pi function. Tan and cot x are has the period of pi. So this has a period for pi and this is functions for period of 2 pi. The next concept is odd and even function. A real valued function f is an even function for all x in the domain of f. Minus x is also in the domain f. That is, f of minus x is equal to f of x is called the even function. For f of minus x is equal to minus f of x is called the odd function. So in even function, cos and secant are even function. Other four trigonometric ratios, sine, cosecant, cot and tan are odd functions. So these are all even functions, these are all odd functions. And then like that, x square, x cube is an odd function, x square is an even function. I will explain this with this concept. F of minus x is equal to f of x. If I take this function f of x is equal to x square, if I substitute the value of x as minus x in this, I will get minus x whole square. So what is the minus x whole square? It gives again x square. So what is x square? That is f of x. So now we get f of minus x is equal to f of x. So x square is a even function. So x square is a even function. Like that, if I take the cos x, f of x as cos x, if I substitute the value of x as minus x, I will get cos of minus x. What is cos of minus x? Plus cos x. So this is f of x. So f of minus x gives f of x. Then this function is called even function. Like that, if I take the f of x as x cube, then I substitute the value of x as minus x, I will get minus x whole cube. Minus x cube gives minus x cube. Here you can write this x cube as f of x. So f of minus x gives minus f of x. So if f of minus x is equal to minus f of x, we call this as odd function. So x cube is odd function. So we can find out for all these values. Next one is amplitude and period of a graph. So we will take an example for sin x. So this is the graph of sin x. So in this the highest value goes from 0 to 1. Here 0 to minus 1. So whatever it is, the length is called the amplitude. So this is called the amplitude of this sine graph. So what is the amplitude of this? That is 1. And then for the period, we already told this 0 to 2 pi is a one period, because for one cycle 0 to 2 pi we get all the values. Here the curve increases from 0 to 1 and again it goes to 0, then it goes to minus 1, again it goes to 0. So if we start with 0, this up to 2 pi is called the one cycle or one period. Again if we start from 2 pi to 4 pi, again we get one cycle. So this is called the one period. So for every one period we have 2 pi's. So this is called the one period. So period is equal to 0 to 2 pi. So this is the period of sin x. We will see this for one example. For example, y is equal to 4 sin 2x. So if you compare this with y is equal to a sin beta x. So this A is called the amplitude. So modulus of A is called the amplitude of the sine function. And the period, the formula to find the period is 2 pi by modulus of B. So what is the B here? Here beta is the 2. So 2 pi by 2. So you will get the answer as pi. So this is the period of sine 2x. So this is the formula to find the amplitude, and this is the formula to find the period.
Next, using the graph, we are going to find the odd and even function. Here this is a curve of sin x. So this is an odd function. Here this graph is symmetric with the origin, and the graph of cos x is even function. It is symmetric about the y axis. So from the graph you can identify the odd and even function.
Now we are going to see the graph of sine function and the inverse sine function. So the graph of sine function is the 0. Sine 0 is 0, sine 90 degree is 1, sine 180 is 0 again, sine 270 is minus 1. So the graph goes like this. To the negative side also it tends like this. Here it is minus pi by 2, here it is minus 3 pi by 2, here it is pi, minus pi, 0, 90, 180, this is 270, and this is 2 pi, and it goes on like this. So this is the graph of sine function. This tends up to plus infinity and minus infinity. Here we have to know the sine function, what is the domain and the range of the sine function. The domain is R because it tends to minus infinity to plus infinity, so we have to take the whole real line number. The range of the sine function is, the range is minus 1 to plus 1, because the graph moves between minus 1 to plus 1. So this is the range. So this is the range of the sine function. Here we have to know the restricted domain, which is called as principal domain. What is the principal domain? We have to take these two vertical lines. These two vertical lines restricts the graph. That means in between this minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, I get all the values. Here it starts from minus 1 and it goes to up to plus 1. So this part of the curve comes under the principal domain or restricted domain. So what is this? Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So this is called the principal domain. So we have to take this for the construction of inverse graph. Minus pi by 2 up to plus pi by 2. So this is the restricted domain of sine function. Now I am going to draw the inverse of sine. Now this axis changes. Here x becomes plus 1 to minus 1. Here 0. In this plus 1 is here, minus 1 is here, 0 is here. When it moves to the sine inverse, x-axis has minus 1 to plus 1, and then y-axis has pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. Now the graph becomes like this. So this is the graph of sine inverse. Sine inverse of x, which is the reflection of sine function to the restricted domain. So this is the graph of sine inverse of x. Here the domain is minus pi by 2 to minus 1 to plus 1, and then the range is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, which is the domain of principal domain of sine function. This comes as the range. Here this range comes as the domain. So for sine function, sine is from r to minus 1 to plus 1. Sine inverse is minus 1 comma plus 1 to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So this is for the sine and this is for the sine inverse. Now we see the properties of sine function. From this graph itself, I will explain these properties. The first property is there is no break in the or discontinuous in the curve. So the sine function is continuous. The second point is the sine function is odd since the graph is symmetric about the origin. The graph is symmetric about the origin, so this function is odd function. Then the third point, it has a maximum value of plus 1 and the minimum value of minus 1. So these are the properties of sine function. Next comes to the sine inverse. Here the first one is the graph is obtained by reflecting the portion of entire graph of sin x in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 about the line y is equal to x by interchanging the x and y axis. Here by interchanging this x and y, this y becomes x and then value of x becomes y here. So you will get the sine inverse, and this sine inverse also passes through the origin, and this curve is also symmetric about the origin, so it is also odd function. So these are the properties of inverse sine function.
Next we are going to see the important properties of sine and inverse sine function. In sine function, it is not 1 to 1 in the entire domain. So this can be visualized from the graph. This is the curve of sine function. If I draw an horizontal line, it intersects at more than one point, so it does not pass the horizontal line test. So this sine function is not 1 to 1 for the entire domain R. If we consider the restricted domain of sine curve, that is from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, we get that function as 1 to 1. Look at this graph, sin x, which is restricted to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. If I draw an horizontal line, this passes through only one point. So at this particular interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, the sine function is 1 to 1, and it also onto, so it is bijective with the range minus 1 to plus 1. This concept sine inverse is already defined to you, that is sine function has its domain minus 1 to plus 1 and its range is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Now we are going to see the important points from the sine inverse. The first point is sine inverse of x. Y is equal to sine inverse of x if and only if x is equal to sine y. Here the x is the domain minus 1 to plus 1 and the range is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. The second one is sine into sine inverse of x is equal to x if modulus of x is less than 1 and modulus of x is greater than 1 has no sense. That means x does not greater than 1. Then third one is sine inverse of sine x is equal to x if x lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Then fourth one, sine inverse of sine x is equal to pi minus x if x lies between pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, that is 90 to 270 degree. The last point is y equal to sine inverse of x is an odd function. Like that, sine x is also odd function. already we seen in the graph.
Now we move to the exercise 4.1. In this, the first sum is find all the values of x such that minus 10 pi is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10 pi and sin x equal to 0. So for what values of sin x is 0? We know the sin 0 is 0. Sin x is equal to 0. So x is 0 for 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and it goes on like this. To the left side, minus pi, minus 2 pi. Here also it tends up to infinity. So for all values of this, sin x is 0. So we have to restrict the value between minus 10 pi to plus 10 pi. So the value of x is 0. If I combine these two, I can write this as plus or minus pi. Here plus or minus 2 pi, plus or minus 3 pi, plus or minus 4 pi, like this. So x is equal to n pi. So you can write this as x is equal to n pi for n belongs to 0 to plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, up to plus or minus 10. In general, you can write like this. Okay, in the second subdivision, find all the values of x such that minus 8 pi less than or equal to x less than or equal to 8 pi and sin x is equal to minus 1. So sin which value is minus 1? Let's see the value in the graph. So this is the graph of sine curve. 0 here, plus 1 here, minus 1. This is 3 pi by 2, minus pi by 2, and then here 7 pi by 2, here 5 pi by 2. This is 3 pi by 2 here, minus 3 pi by 2. So for these values, these thetas, the sin value is minus 1. Sin x is minus 1 for x is equal to minus pi by 2, then 3 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2. To the left side, here minus 5 pi by 2, and then minus 9 pi by 2, like that it goes on. But we have to restrict the values up to minus 8 pi to plus 8 pi. So 7 pi by 2 plus 4 gives 11 pi by 2. 11 plus 4 gives 15 pi by 2. I am going to stop with this. Here minus pi minus 13 pi by 2. If I add 4, 17 pi by 2. 17 pi by 2 is more than 8 pi. So I have to stop with this value. So for these values, the sin x is minus 1. So I write this in the general form. Here the general form is 4n minus 1 into pi by 2, where n is equal to 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and plus 4. Not for the minus, because we have to stop with minus 13 pi by 2. Here we don't have minus 15. So we have to stop with plus 4. If I substitute the plus 4, I will get minus plus 15 pi by 2. If I substitute the minus 3, I will get minus 13 pi by 2. So this is the solution. The second sum, find the period and amplitude of y is equal to sin 7x. Here we have three sums. In the first sum we have y is equal to sin 7x. I already explained the formula to you. For y is equal to a sin alpha x or beta x. So the amplitude is, the formula to find the amplitude is modulus of a, and for the period is 2 pi by modulus of beta. So I am going to use this formula here. On comparing this with this, y is equal to a sin beta x. In the place of a we have 1. So the amplitude, so what is capital A? 1. What is the beta here? 7. So the amplitude is modulus of 1, that is 1. Then the period is 2 pi by modulus of beta. Here 2 pi by modulus of 7, which gives 2 pi by 7. This is the answer for the first subdivision. Then for the second subdivision, if we compare this with y is equal to a sin beta x, in the place of a we have minus 1, and in the place of beta we have 1 by 3. So the amplitude is modulus of minus 1, which gives plus 1, and the period is 2 pi by modulus of beta, that is 2 pi by modulus of 1 by 3, and reciprocal of 1 by 3 gives 2 pi into 3, which is 6 pi. So this is the period of second sum. Then the third subdivision is y is equal to 4 sin 2x, 4 sin minus 2x. Here the amplitude is modulus of 4, which is 4, and then the period is 2 pi by minus 2. The modulus of minus 2 becomes plus 2. So 2 gets cancelled. The answer is 5. Okay, third sum. Sketch the graph of y is equal to sin 1 by 3x for x is 0 to 6 pi. So we have to draw the graph between 0 to 6 pi. First I am going to draw the graph of sin x, not for sin 1 by 3x. Here y, here x, 0, plus 1 and minus 1. So I am going to take this pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi. I am going to draw the sine graph. So this is a graph of sine x, but they ask you to draw the graph of sine 1 by 3x. So I have to find the period for 1 by 3x. So for x is equal to 0, here for x is equal to sin x is equal to 0 means x is equal to pi, 0, 2 pi, like that. For sin 1 by 3x means equal to 0 means, so 1 by 3 x is equal to 1 by 3 into 0. So 1 by 3 x is equal to 3 times 0, 3 times pi, 3 into 2 pi, like that it comes. But we have to restrict this up to 6 pi. So we have to stop with this. 1 by 3 is 0 at 0 and then 3 pi. Next at 6 pi. 0, 3 pi and 6 pi. For these three values only, sin 1 by 3x is 0. So first it starts with 0. Then the second point 0 is 3 pi. The third point is 6 pi. So I have to move and get the maximum value and to the 0, and I go to the minimum value, then I have to reach the 6 pi. So this is the graph of sin 1 by 3x. This is the graph of sin 1 by 3 x. Fourth sum, find the value of first subdivision, sine inverse of sine of 2 pi by 3. So sine inverse of sine of 2 pi by 3. Here the 2 pi by 3 is the 120 degree. Pi by 6 is 60. 60 into 2 gives 120. We know the formula that sine inverse of sine x is equal to x, for x should be lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. In case the value of x is more than 90 to 270, we have to use the another formula, sine inverse of sine x is equal to pi minus x. But here the theta lies between 90 to 270, so I am going to use this formula. Here what is the x? The x is 2 pi by 3. So sine inverse of sine 2 pi by 3 is equal to pi minus 2 pi by 3, which is 3 pi. If you cross multiply this, you will get 3 pi minus 2 pi by 3, which is pi by 3. Like that, the second subdivision also, sine inverse of sine 5 pi by 4. So what is the theta? What is the degree for this? Pi by 4 is 45. 45 into 5 gives 135. 225. 45 into 5 gives 225, which comes under this formula. So we know that sine inverse of sine x is equal to pi minus x, where x lies between pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. So using this, I am going to write this sine inverse of sine 5 pi by 4 is equal to pi minus 5 pi by 4. On simplification, I will get 4 pi minus 5 pi by 4. The answer is minus pi by 4. Next, the fifth sum is, for what value of x does sin x is equal to sine inverse of x? We obtain the solution of sin x is equal to sine inverse of x at the point of intersection of these two curves. So we know that the sin x and the sine inverse of x both passes through the origin. So I am going to draw the graph of sine to the restricted domain. So this is the graph of sin x for the restricted domain minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So if I draw the graph of sine inverse of x, I will get like this. So at this y is equal to x, this is a line of y is equal to x. So at this point of intersection origin, both x and the sin x and the sin inverse of x gives 0. So sin x is equal to sin inverse of x for x is equal to 0. So this is the solution.
Now we are going to recap what we studied in this class. First, periodicity, then the amplitude of a curve sin x, then graph of sin x, and then the graph of sine inverse function, and domain, range and properties of sine and sine inverse function. Understand these concepts clearly. If you have any doubt, feel free to contact me. Thank you and enjoy the day, students.